Hey guys, in this video we are going to find surface area of three-dimensional solids. So right here we have a pyramid. In order to find the surface area of a pyramid, we use the formula area of the base plus 1/2 times perimeter of the base times the slant height. So for this base we have a square with sides of 6. So 6 squared will get us the area of the base. Plus 1/2 times, now the base has 6 sides, or has 4 sides, and all of them are 6. So the perimeter is 6 times 4, which is 24. And then the slant height. Okay, so for the slant height, I'll draw one in. So we've got a height here of 6 and a half side length here of 3. So we're going to do 6 squared plus 3 squared equals the hypotenuse, which is the slant height squared. So we have 6 squared plus 3 squared, and that is 45. So we have 45 equals the slant height squared. Okay, so we'll do the square root of 45. And that is 3 times the square root of 5. In this case, so that we can simplify this a little bit more nicely, let's change the mode here to classic. And let's try that again. The square root of 45 is 6.71. Okay, so for slant height, 6.71. So the surface area is 6 squared plus 1/2 times 24, the perimeter times the slant height, which is 6.71. To be more accurate, I'm just going to bring in this previous answer. And we get 116.498, so 116.50. And that is in meters squared. Okay, surface area, any kind of area, is units squared. Here we have a prism. Now on a prism, anytime there's something that is not a rectangle, anything that is not a rectangle should be considered the base. And here there is a triangle, and because that is not a rectangle, that is our base. So the surface area of a prism is 2 times the area of the base plus the perimeter of the base times the height, which is the distance between the bases. So the base is a triangle, and there are 2 of them, one in front and one in back. So 2 times the area of this triangle is 1/2 times base times height. Base and height of a triangle have to be perpendicular to each other, and 12 and 9 are perpendicular. So those are your base and height for the triangle. So this is capital B, the area of the base. Plus perimeter of the base. We have 9, 12, and we have to add a third side of this base. So we're going to do 9 squared plus 12 squared equals the hypotenuse squared. So we have 9 squared plus 12 squared is 225. 225 equals c squared, and the square root of 225 is 15. So 15 equals c, so we have 15 here. So the perimeter of the base is 9 plus 12 plus 15. 9 plus 12 plus 15 is 36, so the perimeter of the base is 36. And the height is the distance between the 2 triangular bases, and that is 3. So we have 2 times 0.5 times 12 times 9 plus 36 times 3. And that is 216. So we have 216 inches squared. Next, we have a rectangular prism. For a rectangular prism, we can choose whatever we want for the base. So we can choose front, back, left, right, or top and bottom. I'll choose this right here. So I'll use this as my base. Remember, if there's something that is not a rectangle, like here, that has to be the base. If everything is a rectangle, we can choose any rectangle we want. So the surface area for a prism is 2 times area of the base plus perimeter times height. So we chose this as the base, and this is 3 by 5. So that's 2 times a 3 by 5 rectangle. Plus the perimeter of this rectangle. It's 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 3 is 16. Times the height, and the height is the distance between the bases. So if I have a base on the right side, that means I also have a base on the left side. The height is the distance between them, and that is 5. So we have 2 times 3 times 5 plus 16 times 5. And that is 110. We have a surface area of 110 feet squared. Okay, now these next ones ask for volume. Let's just deal with surface area for now, and that means we're going to go here where it says find the exact volume and surface area. So we'll just do surface area for right now. So surface area equals, for a sphere, surface area is 4 pi r squared. 4 pi r squared. So we have 4 pi, and then if the diameter is 18, that means the radius is 9, so 9 squared. And it says exact, so we will not put pi in the calculator. So we have 4 times 9 squared. That's 324. So we have 324 pi feet squared. Once I put pi in the calculator, it's not exact anymore because I will have to round. So since we are looking for exact volume and surface area, we will not put pi in the calculator. Here we have a cylinder. For a cylinder, the formula for surface area is 2 pi r squared plus pi d h. So r is the radius, so that's 2 pi 7 squared plus pi. Now if 7 is the radius, that means the diameter is 14, and the height is from one circular base to the other, and that is 5. So in our calculators, we have 2 times 7 squared plus 14 times 5, and that is 168. So our exact surface area is 168 pi feet squared. Then we have a cone. For a cone, the surface area is pi r squared plus pi rl. So r is the radius, so that's pi 5 squared, so that's your radius, plus pi r, again, which is 5, times l, the slant height, which is 13. So in our calculators, we will do 5 squared plus 5 times 13, and that is 90. So the surface area is 90 pi inches squared. Okay, now let's go down to the bottom of this page here. We are given surface area, and we are looking for, in this case, x, the height. So the surface area formula is, for a cylinder, 2 pi r squared plus pi d h. Now we're given the surface area, so that's 490.088 equals 2 pi. We're given the radius, 6 squared, plus pi. Radius is 6, so the diameter is 12, times h. And h actually has a variable there of x. Okay, so we can subtract 2 pi 6 squared from both sides. So we have 490.088 minus 2 pi 6 squared. Okay, so we have 263.893 equals pi 12x. And we can divide by pi and by 12. Okay, now the calculator knows order of operations, so right here, it did the order of operations by multiplying this first and then subtracting. Okay, but here, in order to divide correctly, we want to divide by pi and 12, not divide by pi, then multiply by 12. So when we put this in the calculator, we will put that denominator in parentheses. Now, I'm not going to use this rounded number. I'm going to use what the calculator gave me and divide by parentheses pi times 12, and I get 6.9999, so basically 7. So the height is 7. Now on this one, we are looking for the slant height. So the surface area of a cone is pi r squared plus pi rl. Okay, so we have 1809.557 equals pi 12 squared plus pi rl, so that's plus pi 12, and then the slant height is x. So we can subtract pi 12 squared, and again the calculator will do order of operations correctly by multiplying this before it actually subtracts. So I won't necessarily need parentheses. Of course, if I do use parentheses, it won't hurt either. Okay, so I get 1357.17 equals pi 12x. And I can divide by pi times 12 to cancel these. This time I need to put in parentheses, so I'm dividing by both. And again, I'm not going to use my rounded number. I'm going to use the number that's already here, divided by parentheses pi times 12. And I get 36. So x, the slant height, is 36.